What if the biggest wealth creation event in modern history is happening right now and most of us are just watching from the sidelines? While many are distracted by the latest app or social media trend, one company is methodically building the foundation of our AI-powered future. In the process, it's not just revolutionizing technology, it's turning its believers, early investors, and even new shareholders into a new generation of millionaires. That company is Nvidia. You know it's serious when a company grows beyond its industry to become a force of nature, a geopolitical asset, and the engine of a global revolution. This isn't just another tech stock story. This is about a vision that felt like prophecy, a technological fortress competitors can't seem to breach, and a wave of capital so immense it's reshaping personal fortunes and even national economies. For 3 decades, Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, chased a single goal: accelerated computing. He saw a future others couldn't, a future where traditional computers would hit a wall and a new architecture would be needed to solve the world's most complex problems. He bet this new model would ignite a revolution, and today, that revolution is here. It's called generative AI, and Nvidia is the undisputed arms dealer for this new industrial age. This isn't just about microchips and stock charts. This is about understanding a fundamental shift in how value is created. It's about how one company's genius strategy and relentless execution are creating a once-in-a-generation wealth opportunity. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how Nvidia built its impenetrable fortress, how its dominance is creating staggering financial returns, and what the road ahead looks like as we enter an era where AI becomes as essential as electricity. Stay with us, because understanding this story might be one of the most important financial lessons of our time. To really get how Nvidia became the key player in the entire AI industry, we have to go back before AI was a household term. We need to talk about the piece of technology at the heart of it all, the graphics processing unit, or GPU. For years, most people knew GPUs for one thing: video games. They were the specialized engines that rendered the stunning, realistic worlds we could escape into. They were designed to do one thing incredibly well: perform thousands of simple calculations all at once. Think about what it takes to create a realistic image. Every pixel, its color, light, and shadow, needs to be calculated and updated many times per second. A traditional computer brain, the CPU, is like a brilliant manager tackling one complex problem at a time, one after another. A GPU, on the other hand, is like an army of workers, each handling a small, simple task, but all working in parallel. This parallel processing power was the secret sauce. While the world saw a tool for better gaming, Jensen Huang and his team saw something much, much bigger. They saw a new kind of computing. They noticed that Moore's law, the famous prediction that computers would get exponentially more powerful, was slowing down for CPUs. They realized their parallel architecture wasn't just for graphics. It was the key to solving problems that were too massive for CPUs to handle efficiently. This was the dawn of accelerated computing. The big idea was to pair a general-purpose CPU with a specialized GPU to speed up the hardest parts of a problem. But the hardware was only half the battle. The real stroke of genius, the move that built an unshakable fortress around their empire, was the creation of CUDA in 2006. CUDA, which stands for Compute Unified Device Architecture, is a software platform. It's the programming model that lets developers unlock the massive parallel power of Nvidia's GPUs for all sorts of general-purpose tasks. Before CUDA, programming a GPU for anything other than graphics was a dark art, reserved for a handful of experts. It was incredibly difficult. CUDA changed everything. It gave scientists, researchers, and developers tools and libraries to easily harness the power of GPUs. It was like handing out the keys to a fleet of supercars to anyone who knew how to drive, when before they were stuck trying to build their own engines from scratch. This was the vision in action. Nvidia spent years and billions of dollars building this ecosystem, often with no immediate payoff. They built libraries for scientific computing, physics simulations, and crucially, for deep learning. When the AI revolution ignited around 2012 with breakthroughs in image recognition, researchers discovered that the massive parallel calculations needed to train these new AI models were a perfect fit for Nvidia's GPUs. And because of CUDA, the tools were already there, mature and ready to go. Competitors could try to build faster chips, but they couldn't just replicate 2 decades of software, millions of developers trained on the platform, and the huge ecosystem of applications built on CUDA. Switching from CUDA isn't just swapping a chip, it means rewriting entire software stacks and abandoning years of work. This ecosystem is Nvidia's true moat, an advantage so deep it makes the company almost impossible to displace. So when you hear that Nvidia controls an estimated 70% to 80% of the AI chip market, it's not just because their hardware is powerful, it's because they built the entire railway system, the tracks, stations, signals, and training schools, while everyone else was just trying to build a faster locomotive. They turned their GPUs from a niche gaming component into the building block of modern AI. They created the new gold rush, and they were the only ones selling the picks, shovels, and the map. This foresight is the bedrock upon which a massive empire and a new class of millionaires is being built. The foundation was visionary strategy, but the story of how that created millionaires is written in the numbers. And the numbers are, to put it mildly, mind-blowing. For years, Nvidia was a successful, respected company, but the explosion of generative AI turned its financial performance from impressive to historic. Let's just look at the raw figures because they tell a story that's hard to believe. Over the last decade, Nvidia's stock has delivered a total return of over 23,000%. Let that sink in. An investment that might have seemed reasonable 10 years ago could now be the foundation of a multi-million-dollar portfolio. This isn't a slow and steady climb. It's a rocket launch fueled by a fundamental repricing of the company's role in the world. The epicenter of this financial earthquake is Nvidia's data center business. This is where they sell the powerful GPUs like the H100 and Blackwell to the companies building our AI future. The growth here has been explosive. For the entire 2024 fiscal year, the company's revenue was $60.9 billion, a 126% increase from the year before. By fiscal year 2025, that number had more than doubled again to over $130 billion. For the second quarter of fiscal year 2026, Nvidia reported total revenue of $46.7 billion, marking a 56% year-over-year increase and 9 straight quarters of over 50% growth. This isn't just growth, it's hyper-growth at a scale rarely seen. This financial performance has rocketed Nvidia into the stratosphere of corporate valuations. The company blew past a $1, $2, and then $3 trillion market cap, and as of late 2025, it sits around $4.5 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies in the world. To put that in perspective, this single company is now worth more than the economies of many developed nations. This valuation reflects the market's belief in Nvidia's future. The AI revolution is just getting started. Global spending on AI infrastructure is projected to surge, with some analysts seeing it grow from around $400 billion in 2025 to over $1.5 trillion by 2030. Nvidia, with its dominant market share, is poised to capture a huge slice of that pie. Analysts are working overtime to keep up. Projections for fiscal year 2026 revenue are hovering around $200 billion, with some estimates for fiscal 2027 climbing towards $290 billion. This flood of revenue translates into massive profits. For its fiscal year 2024, Nvidia's net income was nearly $30 billion. For fiscal year 2025, that number soared to about $73 billion, a jump of almost 145% year over year. The company has maintained incredible gross margins, often in the 70 to 75% range, a testament to its pricing power with little real competition at the high end. This is the how, and this is the engine of wealth creation. When a company's revenue and profits grow at this rate, its stock price follows. Each blockbuster earnings report adds billions to its market value. For anyone holding shares, longtime employees with stock options, retail investors, large pension funds, This growth has translated into massive wealth. The millionaire effect isn't a metaphor. It's the mathematical result of a company at the absolute center of the biggest tech shift of our generation. Trillions in market cap and billions in revenue can feel abstract. What does this actually mean for real people? How does a company's dominance turn into life-changing wealth? This is the millionaire effect, and it's a story being written in the brokerage accounts of everyday people who saw the future and acted. Let's make it real. Imagine an investor, Sarah. She's a software developer who understood the power of parallel computing. 10 years ago, she invested $10,000 into Nvidia. Back then, it was a bold bet on a company known for gaming. That $10,000 investment, thanks to the stock's incredible surge, would be worth roughly $2.4 million today. That's not a lottery ticket. That's the result of identifying a company with a durable advantage and holding on as its vision became reality. There are thousands of Sarahs out there. They're the Nvidia employees who watch their stock grants turn into millions. They're the doctors, teachers, and small business owners who did their research and allocated a part of their retirement savings to a company they believed was building the future. And the millionaire effect isn't over. The sheer scale of Nvidia's growth continues to create wealth. The company's market cap grew by trillions of dollars between early 2023 and late 2025 alone. An investor who bought $50,000 worth of shares in early 2023 would have seen that grow to several $100,000, putting them firmly on the path to becoming a millionaire from a single stock. This is happening because investors see a clear path to continued growth. It's a powerful equation. With net income already soaring, analysts are modeling scenarios where it could continue to climb dramatically through the end of the decade. When a company is projected to grow its profits that much, investors will pay a premium for its stock today. This is why you hear some analysts discussing what once seemed like impossible numbers. A few years ago, a $10 trillion market cap by 2030 seemed like a fantasy. Today, with a clearer view of the AI build-out, some bold analysts are modeling scenarios where Nvidia could approach a $20 trillion market cap by 2030. While that's an extremely optimistic take, it would require its data center business to grow at a compound annual rate of around 36%, a figure that seems at least plausible given the scale of global AI investment. Think about what even a fraction of that growth means. It represents another potential wave of significant wealth creation. It could be the difference between a comfortable retirement and true generational wealth. And this isn't just hype, it's about connecting the dots. The world is in the middle of a tectonic shift to AI. Jensen Huang calls it a new industrial revolution. Every industry, healthcare, finance, automotive, will be rebuilt around it. And Nvidia, with its hardware dominance and CUDA software moat, is providing the tools. The millionaire effect is the direct consequence of owning a piece of the foundational company of this new age. If you're finding this breakdown helpful and you want to stay ahead of the next big tech shifts, take a second to subscribe and click the notification bell. We break down these complex trends every week to give you the insights you need to understand the future of tech and finance. Nvidia's journey has been extraordinary, but if you listen to Jensen Huang, they believe they're just getting started. The explosive demand for AI has created a virtuous cycle of revenue and innovation, funding a product pipeline that aims to define the future. The road ahead is paved with new chips, new markets, and a relentless one-year innovation cycle designed to leave competitors in the dust. The next chapter is named Blackwell. Unveiled in 2024 and ramping up through 2025, the Blackwell platform is a monumental leap in computing power. Nvidia claims that major systems like the GB200 can provide up to a 30 times performance increase for some AI workloads, while reducing energy consumption by up to 25 times compared to the previous generation. While these are company figures, they signal a drive to make AI economically viable at a scale never seen before. This is why every major cloud provider and AI company is lining up to adopt it. Sales are, in the words of CEO Jensen Huang, off the charts. But Nvidia's vision doesn't stop there. You know a company is serious when it announces its next generation platform before the current one is even fully rolled out. After Blackwell comes the Rubin platform, slated for 2026, which is expected to be another massive boost in performance. And after that, an even more powerful Rubin Ultra is planned for 2027. This aggressive product cycle is a core part of their strategy, often using their own AI supercomputers to design their future chips. Beyond the chips themselves, Nvidia is creating entirely new markets. One of the biggest is sovereign AI. This is the idea that every nation needs to own and control its own AI infrastructure to protect its data and economic future. In a world of geopolitical tensions, countries no longer want to depend on foreign powers for a technology this critical. This has ignited a global gold rush. Nations across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia are pouring billions into building their own AI factories, and they're turning to Nvidia to do it. This isn't just a hardware sale. Nvidia is providing full-stack solutions. Some analysts estimate this sovereign AI market could eventually be a $1.5 trillion opportunity. Nvidia has stated it's on track for its sovereign AI business to potentially bring in over $20 billion in revenue in fiscal 2026. Looking further, Nvidia is pushing into robotics, autonomous vehicles, and digital twins, virtual simulations of real-world factories, and even cities. Its Omniverse platform is creating the foundation for industrial digitalization, while its Drive platform is the brain for a growing number of autonomous vehicles. The automotive segment alone is already a multi-billion-dollar business for the company. The road ahead is a convergence of these trends, a relentless innovation cycle that keeps them years ahead, expansion into massive new markets like sovereign AI, and the deepening integration of their software into every industry on the planet. This is why, despite its colossal size, the case for Nvidia's continued growth remains so compelling. We started with a question: what if the biggest wealth creation event of our time is happening right now? We've seen this isn't hypothetical. It's the story of a company that masterfully positioned itself at the epicenter of a technological revolution. Nvidia's story is a masterclass in vision, innovation, and strategic execution. It began with the insight that a new kind of computing was needed. This led to the GPU and the CUDA software ecosystem, a moat so deep it became the industry standard. We've seen how this dominance created almost unbelievable financial results, catapulting the company to the top of the global market. This is the engine of the millionaire effect, rewarding early believers and new investors, and the journey seems far from over. With the Blackwell platform ramping up, a relentless roadmap ahead, and the dawn of huge new markets like sovereign AI, Nvidia isn't just defending its lead, it's expanding it. The company has become the modern equivalent of the railroad builders of the 19th century, providing the essential infrastructure for a new global economy. The story of Nvidia is more than a stock analysis. It's a blueprint for how technological revolutions create wealth. It's a testament to long-term vision in a short-term world. As Jensen Huang puts it, we're in a new industrial revolution, and many companies and nations will build their future on the foundation Nvidia created. We've laid out the case, but now it's over to you. What are your thoughts? Do you think Nvidia's dominance can last another decade? Or do you see competitors or risks on the horizon? Is sovereign AI a durable trend or a temporary surge? Let us know your perspective in the comments below. We read every single one, and your insights are a huge part of this conversation. And if you want to keep exploring the companies and trends shaping our future, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for